say it's true, but it actually is true. Raw has not changed in 19 fucking goddamn years.
Not in any good way, no.
This fucking retro Raw was exactly like a show I would see Monday, just shorter. Mm-hmm. This storyline, I would make everybody mad because I don't give a shit. I'm over it. This bullshit Becky, Ronda, Charlotte thing that everyone's crying about. This is worse, okay? This build to this WrestleMania is way worse than Becky, Ronda, Charlotte. I do not want to hear otherwise. Fuck you. Go listen to another podcast. They're pretending they're on television 4 weeks away from WrestleMania, telling us that the main event of WrestleMania is Triple H defending the championship against The Big Show
in a one-on-one match.
The Rock has no opponent for WrestleMania. Mick Foley just retired, okay? And between now and 4 weeks from now, Mick Foley is going to unretire. Mm-hmm. The Rock is going to be put into the match.
Yes.
There's going to be 4 men in the match. And there's going to be a McMahon in every corner, including Linda. Mm-hmm. Okay? You can bitch all you want about this Charlotte, Becky, Ronda thing. It's 1,000 times better than this. At least we only have Vince and Stephanie and Shane. I guess Hunter's a McMahon. But like, fuck, this is horrible. It's really horrible. And the rest of the show is exactly like Raw today, with one exception, and that is on Raw today, a babyface will lose, and then he will get his ass kicked for 15 straight minutes, and then they'll go to the next segment. At least here, like, The Rock actually won on this show, and then the heels tried to beat him up, but he foiled them, and he left with his head held high. I couldn't even believe my eyes. That's when I realized it's a little different from the year 2000. But, like, if you take that out, it's the same show. We have been watching the same show for 19 years.
It's almost like the same guy's writing it.
It's inconceivable. Dude, the same guy's been running the Brian and Vinny show since 2005. It ain't nothing like 2005. It's nothing like 2005. It has changed 1,000 times. This fucking show is exactly the same. Can't take much more. I'm more upset about Raw than Nitro. Nitro's at least just like, you know, it's gonna die soon. You know what I mean?
It does have
we got a year left.
54 weeks to go or so.
I can handle 54 more weeks. And you know, one thing I will say, it sure as shit ain't the same as it was in 1995.
It is not. No.
It is profoundly different. Like, at least I know in watching Nitro that every week something's gonna be different. You know what I mean? At least I can go in knowing I don't know what's gonna happen.
I'll see something I've never seen before.
There are young dragons now. Where the fuck did they come from? There's the dog, Tank Abbott. Like, there's so much shit. You don't even know what's coming. But on Raw, no matter what they do, no matter how much they try to surprise you, it's the same goddamn show for 19 years now. Oh. Well, let's go, Raw.
I can't wait now. WWF Monday Night Raw number 354, March 6th of the year 2000.
Of the year 2000. Mm-hmm. 2,000.
Which is, yes, it is now ancient history, yes. So on SmackDown, something monumental happened. There was a tag match. The Big Show accidentally hit Triple H with a chair, and then The Rock pinned Hunter.
Wow.
That's amazing, actually. So Shane and Show come out for a promo. Shane implies the chair shot may not have been an accident after all.
What I got out of this was the opening video package was all about the McMahon family feud.
Oh, is that too?
They're
in the main event, Brian.
Years ago. God help me.
So, Shane says his beef with Rock is professional, his beef with Hunter is personal. It is absolutely personal, he says, how you brainwashed my sister into marrying you. And also, he says, turned her into a slut. So Shane books Hunter versus Rikishi for tonight. I guess he can do that.
The best part, and I did love this, is they announced Triple H versus Rikishi. Rikishi. And as soon as they announced this match, Shane and Hunter, high five.
Show and Hunter.
Show and Hunter.
Shane. Yeah.
They're so overjoyed to have done such a diabolical thing. They booked Hunter versus the dancing fat guy.
Well, it's funny. I get your point. That's how we remember. We remember Rikishi for dancing and shaking his ass. But if you watch how he's actually been booked, he's a monster.
Well, they
Hunter's the underdog going into this fight.
no, he's nice champion.
I know. So Stephanie then books Big Show versus Kane. And here is a way that Raw has not changed in 19 years. You never know who is actually in charge. Somebody books a match and it just happens. And there's no chain of command.
Mm-hmm.
There's no pulling rank. There's everyone, whoever says something first, that is the law.
Well, the rule seems to be that if you're a McMahon, you're in charge. And you can do anything you want, but the other McMahon, can't stop you.
So if a McMahon says something, no one can change it, even another McMahon.
Yeah.
That's
unless
dumb.
Unless another McMahon... I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, if a McMahon... if we're both McMahons, okay? And I say, you can't walk out that door, Vinny. You can't walk out the door. But if you walk out the door before I say it, you can walk out the door.
Yeah.
But as soon as I say it, you can no longer do it.
A McMahon cannot be overruled after making a decree.
Yeah.
It's like I say, Vinny, you can't walk out the door, and then you say, well, you can't follow me. Or, I don't even know.
Sure.
It's just stupid. It's like,
That's my point.
who the fuck's in charge of this fucking
That is
thing?
exactly my point. So earlier today, Crash Holly has now instituted the 24/7 rule of the hardcore title.
You missed Stephanie slapping the snot out of Shane,
Stephanie slapped Shane really hard.
and then she booked Show against
We did mention that.
Kane. That part I did. That's
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Earlier today, the Mean Street Posse takes Tim White and Breakfast to Crash Holly's hotel room to ambush him. They keep attempting to pin him on the bed, but then they keep breaking up each other's pins. Lamps and vases are broken, and finally Crash is able to grab the belt and flee. The posse chases after him, except Pete Gas, who's not going to let this breakfast go to waste.
Okay, I will give them credit for this. This is another thing they do better then than they do today. Today, the baby faces would have fucked this whole thing up and came across like bumbling idiots. Here, the heels are the bumbling idiots.
Yes.
And the babyface got away.
They botched a 3-on-1 ambush.
Yes, these heels were so dumb that they formulated a plan and never thought about which one of them was going to win.
Yes, right.
So in the heat of the moment, nobody wanted anyone else to win, and they all were stopping each other from getting the victory.
Big Show versus Kane. The only thing I loved about this, Big Show was in the ring for the opening segment, and then went backstage just to do his entrance. That made me
Yes.
laugh. So, they had a WWF match.
It was very boring. Nobody cared until The Rock came out.
Clubbing on each other, show got blown up in 3 minutes or whatever. Fell down doing a spine buster, and then Rock just attacked Show for the DQ. Rock runs down the ramp, does his move on Big Show, runs to the back, sunglasses never came off.
So Kane got disqualified. He's the loser. But then he chokeslams the Big Show.
That's what happened, yes.
Well, it's got cuts to backstage where Triple H and Stephanie are watching the television. They didn't say a thing. They just showed them watching the
In
television.
a perfectly natural position.
Yeah.
Cuddling on the couch together, watching TV that was in front of them.
For like 30 seconds, and they go back to the match, and they cut back to them again watching television. Like we must know what the man's doing at all times.
But I should mention that because Big E on Twitter, he's responding to a tweet that Kofi sent out here where Kofi, he's watching something, and I don't even know where they are. They're like at the gym watching SmackDown or something like that. And Big E tweeted, "Even when I'm not at work, I watch TV standing and angled from the side like I was taught to do." I love this man.
So Mark Henry and Mae Young are still a thing. I was hoping last week's angle
Why wouldn't they be? What an asshole Henry would be.
She faked a
She fake it. She gave birth to a hand. She made that abundantly clear.
So it's still going. Mark says, "You had a baby." She says, "I had a hand." And Mark says, "Whose hand was it?"
I just love that in a week they haven't had this talk.
That too.
Sure.
I mean, that was a long pregnancy. At the end of the day, she gave birth to a hand.
Not really. It was
And, like-
only like a month and a half.
They never talked about it
It felt
after
much
that.
longer.
They waited a full week to have the big discussion about, I didn't have a baby, I had a hand. And he wants to know whose hand it was. He points to his own hands.
Right. And not mine.
There's more on this to come.
Like, hold on a second. 1, 2. 1, 2.
All hands present and accounted for.
What the fuck's white hand was it?
It was a white hand, actually.
Yeah. She goes, none of your business. And that was the end of the conversation.
I ask again, why are they still together?
Well, you know.
The APA to a Pulp Fiction parody skit where they are driving and talking about wrestling in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call a pile driver in France? I don't know. I didn't do that move. That was funny. And their slogan is, the APA, we need beer money.
That's where it came from, I guess.
They actually replay the hand angle from last week. And then Jim Ross explains, this is his exact quote. She gave birth to a very old glove with a hand in it.
I missed that.
Excuse me.
That's what he said. That is what Jim Ross said. So now the storyline is apparently 50 years ago, some guy was getting freaky with Mae Young and lost a hand. That's the story. That's canon.
Things like a steel.
With a glove on.
With a glove on.
So maybe he wasn't getting freaky. Maybe it was a doctor.
It may have been a doctor.
Yeah.
It may have been a medical.
Maybe she was in the middle of an exam, and something went wrong, and the guy got his arm chopped
I'll
off.
say.
Sure.
And
It's like a bear. It's like a bear trap down there.
yeah. No, like, you know, you're in the operating room, and somebody's got a
Prosthesis.
chainsaw. You're in the middle of... Anyway.
The other thing of
It's
note,
pretty weird.
the other thing, well, speaking of weird, they're showing the exact moment where Mae Young's hand entered this world, and Lawler notes the EMT is staring at Mae's starfish.
Oh my.
Mark Henry versus Devon Dudley. So Bubba's in the ring. Mae Young's hitting him with a Bronco Buster. None of this is a DQ. Mark wins the Power Slam. And then they give Mark a 3D. They grab Mae. They give her the Bubba bump to the table. And this was a much bigger bump than the one Terry took.
I'll say.
Yeah, because Terry could at least hold on to his head, and Mae, I guess, wasn't strong enough to hold on to his head the whole way down.
And she's heavier.
And she kind of let go, and she took a legit bump.
She took a back bump.
It wasn't bad. He did everything he could to protect her, but that's a big bump. They said she was 80.
Mhm.
She was actually 76.
But still.
She was about to turn 77 in a couple days.
Yeah.
And she did, in fact, turn 77 and 78.
And 80 something.
All the way up to 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good for her, but yeesh.
Dude, there's more to come, Vinny.
There's more to come. There's more to come. Road Dogg and X-Pac versus Too Cool.
You know what I thought was funny about this match? The fans chanted, X-Pac sucks.
Yeah. They don't like him.
That's his gimmick.
Understood.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to chant to a guy.
Oh, and he says suck it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think, well,
No shit, he sucks. That's what he says every week. He come out here and chant that he sucks. He should have said thank you. You're right.
I sure do.
I do suck.
Speaking of things that suck, Jim Ross asks, again a quote, "We still don't know whether Mr. Ass is in or out of DX." He's out, Jim. They beat him up, and literally, they threw him out.
Well, friends fight, Vinny.
I'll say.
Crowd loved the worm. Match is clunky in spots, but fine otherwise.
Okay, so Kane fucking comes out.
Kane comes out.
Now listen, I have totally lost track of this stupid storyline. Now, to be fair, we don't watch SmackDown. We don't watch Heat, if it still exists at this point. And we're not watching the pay-per-views. So, to be fair, maybe if I watched all of those fucking shows, I'd know what the hell's going on with Kane and X-Pac still. But as a Raw viewer, I am baffled.
So, well, I can tell you this much. Kane wants revenge on X-Pac. He can never get his hands on X-Pac, but can get his hands on his buddies and his woman and all that stuff.
I feel like this has been going on for a year.
It has.
Okay.
So, I do want to note, when he grabs Road Dogg for the chokeslam, and I've seen a billion guys have to, because he had the big dramatic goozle, and the other guy's got to sell this goozle before going up for the chokeslam. Some guys run in place. Some guys just wave their arms like an inflatable dummy. Road Dogg just sticks his hands straight up in the air. Just doesn't know what to do.
I give up.
He was like, surrender. And Kane chokeslammed him anyway. Kurt Angle versus Jericho. Kurt says if he's not careful, he can end up a nothing like all of the fans, or he has been like Chris Jericho. Jericho rebuts, saying Angle has bad breath and BO. And looks like a 30-year-old never kissed a woman Olympic geek who still lives at home with his mama. In the match, the ref gets bumped. He brought up and no ref. Angle tries a belt shot. Jericho puts him in the walls instead. And then, I'm not making this up. Many of you will think I am lying. Chris Jericho was attacked by Robert Backlund.
I have zero
Mr.
memory.
Bob Backlund attacked Chris Jericho for the DQ in the year 2000.
He put him in the crossface chicken wing. I have zero memory of this. He raised Kurt Angle's hand. They celebrated. Apparently they're like together for a while, I guess. I don't even remember.
I'm trying to think, because he was briefly...
You know there's an easy way to do this.
Yeah, this is no fun, though.
Some magic box with information on it.
Because 4 or 5 years ago, he was the transition champ from Brett to Diesel.
Yep.
And then he had been, of course, a 6-year world champion in the early 80s, in between doing nothing, and since then doing like nothing. He managed the Sultan for a while.
I love it because you see him in the crowd for a few minutes, and oh my gosh, it's Bob Backlund, and he's slowly making his way to the ring, and then time passes, there's a rest hold, and then finally Bob hits the ring.
It looks like he's there for like a whopping 2 weeks.
Oh.
Bob is the one that books him in the Benoit, Jericho, Angle triple threat for both titles match at Mania.
Oh.
And so he beats him up. The show's
Awesome.
4 weeks away.
That's tremendous.
Yeah. Yep.
Rikishi is backstage doing squats. We get Rikishi versus Triple H. Hunter actually does take the stink face, but then hits a low blow and works him over for a while. Rikishi's making his comeback, and Hunter hits him with a chair for the DQ.
Whoop-de-doo! Fans were bored during this match. They chanted slut every now and then. These McMahons are bizarre.
That's true.
The multiple interference spot in every match is infuriating. Steph interfered again and again. And yeah, then Rikishi
Wins via DQ.
squashed him after a Rock came out.
Rock came out, and for the second time, he ran down the ramp, hit his rock bottom, ran back up the ramp, and never lost his sunglasses.
I don't know why you're so impressed with this. He's not doing anything. He stands there and he grabs the guy. The guy leaps. I mean, what kind of sunglasses do you wear? I'm pretty sure I could do a rock bottom without losing my sunglasses.
It's been a while since I used to wear glasses all the time, and they would fall off when I was walking.
Okay, well, that sounds like a problem with the glasses, Vinny. Not,
I got contacts.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think that's a Vinny problem.
Well,
I mean, I don't know how you walk.
Probably.
Well, I mean, that's fucking true, but like,
Head down.
you ever think about getting a pair of glasses that fit?
Slumping.
You know there's that thing on the back that you can bend to make them fit on your ear better?
I see.
You're not supposed to make them straight.
Shane and Show go to talk to Hunter. Matt Hardy versus Steve Blackman.
That's not what she said.
She
Lillian
didn't
goes,
say, oh.
Lillian goes, introducing Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy's like caught off guard, and so he does a little jig. And then Ross.
I was baffled because they
It's
announced
actually Matt Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, and I'm watching the match, and I was like, fuck, he dyed his hair black today. That's kind of weird. And then I realized, that's Matt.
So Al is talking to the tech guy about Steve Blackman's entrance.
Okay, hold on a second. So, his fucking match is next.
Yep.
So, right before, literally, I'm not making this up, everybody. Not later, like in an hour.
No.
Seconds before Steve Blackman is going to go through the curtain.
The Hardys are already out.
Al Snow meets this guy,
Production manager
and he says, I need a bunch of midgets.
with cheese.
Swarming midgets carrying platters of cheese.
That is his quote.
That's what I want for this ring entrance. It's like, they didn't even put on the bottom of the screen earlier today.
No.
Like, we're supposed to believe this is right now. He wants this guy to go find a swarm of midgets now. Okay, even in wrestling,
A swarm
that's
of-
not easy. So, I did laugh when Steve Blackman walks up and Al's left. And Steve grabs the production guy and he goes, if anything happens to him, I'm going to tear your throat out. Now smile. And Al walks over and the guy smiles. I thought, that was some charisma there from Steve Blackman. A very, very, like a
glimmer.
like a pinch, as they would say, if you're making a cake, of charisma. But enough.
How many cakes have you made?
My daughter makes one every fucking morning, so I know what a pinch is. Anyway, then they had a match.
Making cakes with broken Matt Hardy? What's that?
It was okay. Don't get out of here, you idiot. Don't even ask. I don't want to hear, Rob. Go ahead.
I think the clunky as hell match.
It sucked.
It's not very good. It was
No.
during this match I realized with horror there was still a half hour left in the show.
Fuck, is that it?
It felt like a lot more.
Felt like 2 hours left.
Long after this match should have ended, they did a bunch of near falls. And then Al beats up Jeff outside, and Steve Blackman does a top rope brogue kick for the win. How he did not break his leg, I don't know.
I always feared that
He's a martial artist, Vinny.
I always feared that Van Dam was going to break his leg on that rider kick that he does. This was 100 times worse.
There's a reason he didn't do it very often.
Don't underestimate the lethal weapon.
I'm sure his balance and dexterity are superior to mine.
Sure.
But I also suspect he went back and watched this on video and thought, you know what? That could have gotten real bad. Shane suggests to Hunter they should book Rock against Benoit in a cage match tonight. Excuse me. Shane goes to Stephanie and suggests they should book Rock against Benoit in a cage match. Stephanie agrees because it is, in fact, all about the McMahons, and Big Show and Hunter are merely their pawns. Edge and Christian versus Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko.
Dude, was I wrong, or was this the most boring match of all time?
I wrote here a boring match, and the announcers were also bored.
The Radicals are just dudes now.
Mm-hmm.
They had a match that nobody cared about. It was absolutely, totally heatless. They worked over Edge, the pretty boy. They work over his knees forever. Not even the girls care. Then Christian makes a hot tag to save the pretty boy whose leg is broken. Nobody gives a shit. The announcers aren't paying attention to anything. They're talking to Terry's boobs the whole time.
Well,
she finally leaves the booth. Finally, people wake up because there's boobs walking around.
Sure.
And then the ending of this fucking match. Edge and Malenko are outside.
Mm-hmm.
Malenko hits Edge. He bonks into Terry.
Mm-hmm.
She sells it like she broke her ankle. As I wrote here, some bullshit happened, and the Radicals somehow pinned Christian. And then Terry bounced up the ramp and was uninjured, and they claimed that she somehow screwed Edge and Christian, even though, from what I saw, Christian got pinned clean in the middle by the double team Radicals finish.
Well, he was distracted because Edge was tending to Terry.
Edge could not break up the pin.
I
He was
see.
making sure Terry's
This was
legs
fucking
were-
terrible.
What was?
With all the talent that was in this ring, I was expecting this to be amazing.
It was not.
No.
My estimation of the finish here is Radicals pin Christian with total elimination. Eddie was also involved in doing something.
Yeah, he went up to the top rope and he took his gimmick off, and they didn't do anything.
Yeah, not good. Viscera is backstage muttering about being hardcore. This leads to Crash Holly versus Viscera. Briefly in the ring, they immediately brawl backstage. They go into APA's office. They interrupt the poker game. At this point, again, I quote Jim Ross. Somebody just hit Vis right in the face with something.
Yes.
And I can add nothing.
It was a pitcher.
Okay, we have one clue. It was a pitcher.
So they're back there with the APA, and the APA beat up Viscera with something.
Mhm.
A pitcher.
In the face.
Crash pinned him, and then the APA stands there, and neither of them even thought to pin Crash.
Right. They're playing poker.
There was money on the table.
There's money in that title, conceivably.
Allegedly. Do you have any evidence of that?
No?
Viscera,
Well, I mean, my evidence is that they did stupid shit for it, so.
Viscera beat the fire out of Crash in this match.
Yeah, did Crash get any offense?
No.
Just
He
got
just got
thrown into walls and bounced off the floor and stuff? Yeah.
Felt sorry for the little man.
Michael Cole interviews The Rock. The Rock had absolutely nothing to say, but he was still awesome.
He loves steel cage matches.
Yeah.
And he's gonna put his boot up Benoit's candy ass.
Yeah. Mark Henry attacked the Dudleys. It was a bad idea. They beat him up.
Holy God. This fucking hero sneaks in,
400-pound Mark Henry.
jumps them from behind. They beat the shit out of him. What a geek. That's the world's strongest geek. I like Mark Henry.
It's actually a hell of a gimmick.
It actually would be an awesome
Some
gimmick.
guy who, he's really, really strong.
Actually, you know what it is? It's Otis Dozovich.
Kind of.
Because, like, in storyline, everyone makes fun of him.
Yeah.
So I guess he's a geek.
But he's strong.
He's the world's strongest geek, and he makes him pay.
There you go.
I hope Vince doesn't listen to this show. He won't.
I'm confident he does not.
Yeah. Can you imagine if it was his favorite show?
He'd be actively trolling us.
I feel like that every Monday, you motherfucker.
I'm mad this week. Rock versus Chris Benoit in a cage match.
This was good.
Yeah, Rock. Turns out Rock versus Chris Benoit are good wrestlers. Yeah, it's amazing. Benoit tells the Radicals to stay behind. They're out there in the flimsiest cage in Raw history.
Where did they get this cage?
Rock at one point
I
legit,
think from the top of the Tower of Doom.
he legit almost fell out of the ring with a cage around it.
It's like they called AA fencing. First thing in the phone book. And
So Shane and Show and Hunter and Steph are all out there. So the finish, Benoit goes up top. The Rock grabs him, hits what has to be the only powerbomb of his career. Tries to climb out, but Hunter climbs up from the outside to stop him. They have a brawl. Hunter loses. Hunter is knocked off the cage onto Big Show, and Rock scurries over the top and wins.
Huge pop.
Huge pop. Good guy overcame the odds.
Yeah, and then they beat him up afterwards.
And they beat him up.
But Hunter messes up, hits the Big Show with a chair.
Yeah.
Rock makes his own comeback, and he leaves with his head held high.
Yes.
He's like a hero.
Something.
Yeah.
Almost like he's the top babyface. It's just bizarre.
So there we go. We got, what, 3 weeks to Mania now?
It said 4 on the big screen.
4, okay.
Yeah. Man, we got through that quick.
I told you it was boring.
Here we go with your song, Vinny. Are you ready?
I am prepared, sir.
Okay, hope this is it.
The finishes on this show were DQ due to run-in, pin despite multiple run-ins, DQ due to run-in, DQ due to run-in, DQ due to chair shot, pin after distraction and maybe interference too, pin after interference, and then win in a cage match despite interference.
Boring show.
Let's never watch that one again.
Well, thankfully, we've got Nitro.
We do.
I almost called it Impact, and then I almost called it Thunder. But in fact, it is Monday Nitro.
They do all blend together after a while.
Yes.
WCW Monday Nitro number 233, also March 6th of
233 weeks of watching this show.
4+ years. Also March 6th of the year 2000.
We're almost at the end.
Almost.
When we started, it was a long way away.
Sure.
Now it's right around the corner. I don't know what I am.
Time keeps on slipping.
It's kind of weird. Like, I'm going to be sad when it's over, but I'm going to be happy.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I mean, there's still that little something about Nitro that I look forward to every week. Cause it's just,
No!
yeah, I do. It's just always so weird. Like, Sid's going to be on it, and,
Sid is great.
you know, there's going to be some fun stuff.
We got 54 more drives up here, and then I'm riding off into the sunset.
Oh, yeah?
You're hanging up your...
Mike?
Yeah, sure. Just say, not booze. I don't know.
Okay, Rob, start watching the shows.
Got it.
So the camera fades up from black, and Finley and Vampiro are bawling backstage for some goddamn reason.
Okay. As much as I said I'll miss this show,
Right.
Liar!
these fuckers, like, how many times did they have to show us that they were fighting? 15 fucking times?
Often.
At least 3 times in the first 10 minutes.
Over and over. I was so sick of Vampiro by the time, and I like Vamp, but fuck, they just are fighting incessantly. Somebody do something.
Opening match is Kaz Hayashi versus Psychosis, or as his own manager, Juventud Guerrera, called him, Psycho Lose.
Okay, so, like, was
that where-
Madden like making fun of Hoovy? Or was he being an idiot? Because he called him Psycho the entire match, to the point that I was starting to get furious, because it's not his fucking name.
He didn't do it the whole match. He got like one psychosis in. So I know he knows the man's name.
The answer to your question, Brian, may well be both.
Well, I was furious.
Wasn't
Name-
Psycho a Youth Wrestling Federation star?
Yes,
He was.
yes, a multi-time champion, I might add.
Was he better than Psychosis?
No.
Okay. So the Young Dragons
He had
are
better
a thing.
physique.
Oh,
That
okay.
much.
Okay.
The Young Dragons are a thing now. Or as Tony called them at one point, the Jung Dragons.
Right.
How would he know any different?
What, Tony?
Yeah.
Well, they actually spelled it with a J.
Yeah,
pronounced Young,
they
so
spelled it J. I mean, obviously.
no one bothered to tell him, hey, Tony.
It's pronounced Young,
Yeah.
but it was spelled J-U-N-G.
Yeah. So they're doing this match, and Finley and Vampiro brawl down the ramp and into the ring and keep on fighting and brawl out of the ring and back up the ramp, and it's not a DQ.
Nobody does anything. Where's the fucking security that's all over the
Hoovy
show?
is like, what the fuck's going on? Tony explains Charles Robinson can basically do nothing. The fuck he can.
He's the ref.
He can throw the match out. Now Prince Iaukea comes out.
Because
This is the opener.
This wasn't enough.
You're gonna miss the show? Sorry,
Vinny, would
Craig.
you shut up?
Sorry, Craig, I interrupted you, but I'm riled up now.
No, there just wasn't enough distraction. You had to have 2 sets of people come out.
So Prince Iaukea comes out. Paisley is arguing with Psychosis. This lets Iaukea hit... Wait, no. Paisley's arguing with Juventud. This lets Iaukea hit Psychosis with the belt, and Kaz wins with a roll-up. Fuck this show. You're gonna miss this show.
Oh, would you shut up, Vinny? Come on now. Where the fuck are we going to be able to see a Ric Flair-Kurt Hennig match with this show off the air? We're not going to fucking see anything like that on Raw. We're not going to see anything like that on SmackDown. We're not going to see anything like that on any WWE pay-per-view. It's a style of wrestling that when this show is dead, it's gone. Unless we start going back to what? You want to go back and watch Thunder?
No.
Then you better miss this fucking show.
And we're never going to see Paisley in this outfit again.
Sweating. You'll never see Paisley wearing something like that.
No.
I was wondering where to go with that.
I was talking about this Paisley. Yeah, on
Now Finley and Vamp are fighting some more.
Yeah. Did you say Vinley?
You did.
Yeah, 3 segments with Vampiro and Finley. The show is not even 10 minutes old. Jarrett laughs at this because Sid has a team with Vampiro later, and clearly Vampiro can't be trusted.
He can? Why?
He can't be relied on because he's just an idiot along with Finley.
Finley attacked him and grabbed him by the neck at the start of the show. What the fuck do you expect the guy to do?
Blowed up by main event time.
I don't know. Gene interviews the Mama Lukes.
See, this is why I'll miss the show.
Okay.
Disco, in the greatest moment of his career, even better than when he talked about on TNA, building the evil architect. When he looks at the camera and with a straight face refers to the Harris brothers as the Hairless Boys,
Yeah.
I laughed.
That was a
I
good one.
laughed out loud, laughed. The Hairless Boys. And then Johnny had some line about he won't eat another cheese sandwich until he beats the Harrises.
He vowed to eat no more cheese sandwiches until after they beat the hairless twins. And he doesn't get cheese sandwiches, he gets mad.
And Vito was doing the worst shadow boxing I've ever seen in my life.
Maybe got a hell of a promo on Big Ron.
Yeah, he's a good promo.
Yeah. This was fun.
Yes.
Vampiro is back on my TV screen.
Yeah, I won't miss that.
He's throwing a tantrum.
Vinny, when this show is over and we no longer watch it, when are we going to see Club Lavella?
He won't.
Never.
It's only ever on
It's
Metro.
over.
It's true.
But I will counterpoint that one. When are we going to see Ricky Ragman?
Well,
I'll tell you what, I'll never see him again.
I don't because I fast forward through it, so I'm not going to lie.
He is at Club Shakers in Raleigh. You're on campus at Duke. So I'm looking at this and I'm watching this segment. And I'm looking at the way these guys are dressed. I'm like, man, the guys at Duke really are total douchebags. Then I realized, oh wait, that's Shane Helms.
Oh, Vinny.
That's part of 3 count. It's supposed to be.
Sure.
The team package arrives at the building.
You're not going to miss Team Package with Ric Flair in it.
A team named after one guy.
Named after Package.
Named after the package.
I mean, there's so many ways to interpret this.
Are there now?
Yeah,
Oh,
Ric
good.
Flair, Team Package. Hello? Do I need to explain this to you? And then they randomly note Vamp just walked out the door. But later he's just there.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, he left and then decided, fuck it. I got a match tonight.
I suspect that happened in Nitro all the time.
Yes.
Big Ron versus Big Vito. There are a trio of signs in the crowd plugging Visit Me Online at, and there's a URL that no longer works. I took the name of the young lady, and she apparently was active in the film world for a while. Carrie Cox. You're all looking at me with curiosity.
Excuse me?
That's her name.
Excuse me?
That's what it said.
Was she part of Team Package?
Maybe we have auditioned, I don't know. Okay, this match went less than a minute. In that less than a minute, we got a pinfall, but the ref was distracted. We got Disco pulling the Harris out of the ring. We got the other Harris rolling into the ring. And the illegal Harris pinning Vito after hitting him with a chain. Then the ref sees a replay and makes it all a DQ instead. Yeah, all of this for less than a minute of action.
You know, every so often Madden cracks me up with his one-liners. Tony said, would you call that a mafia kick? And Madden says, no, I'd call it an Italian-American heritage kick.
Madden is much better than I remembered.
Yeah.
I remember him being terrible.
And turned on him when he kept talking about Psycho.
He can be annoying sometimes.
Sure.
But his delivery is great, and some of his jokes actually are funny. He had one later when... No, we'll get to it. Hennig calls somebody fatso, and man was outraged it might be him.
Yep.
And then Flair, I think it was Flair, somebody called a guy in the crowd fat boy, and Madden clarified, I want it on the record that is not me. It was funny.
Did we mention that a Harris shoved a cop?
Yeah, Harris shoved a cop, and the cop pulled his nightstick out, and the Harrises ran away.
Yeah, they ran away from cops. So I was furious about that. But then they cut backstage, and in fact, the Harrises get arrested.
Yeah.
So they're being arrested, and they can't figure out why.
Why are we being arrested? You dipshits.
Well, you shoved an officer.
Mhm.
And then one of the Harris goes, "We never touched the officer." And I was like, "It was right there on camera." This was very strange. They're not very smart.
I was gonna say, Brian, it's a bad show. This is the explanation for all your questions. Meanwhile, on Thunder, the wall chokeslammed Crowbar through a table.
Yep. The announce table.
The announce table.
And it blew up.
Yeah. So tonight here on Nitro is David Flair's 21st birthday.
That's a shoot, by the way.
Yeah.
They used to say he was 19. I don't know why. They lied about his age. So, because they claimed he was 19, in storyline, in WCW canon, he went from age 19 to 21. He was never 20.
Interesting.
That's kind of weird. How does that even happen?
Not sure.
How can you skip an age?
Well, you've been lying about years for years.
What are you talking about? Yes, Rob.
I can answer that question. Lots and lots of alcohol.
There's no alcohol in wrestling, Rob.
I see. Aging himself. That's what Rob's saying.
I see.
Or he just drank so much he forgot the year. Point being, David says Crowbar lived for wrestling. Yes, lived, past tense.
He's dead.
Yeah. He deceased. Died after going to this table.
Yeah.
So he's going to take his... When did David paint his crowbar gold, by the way? He has a gold crowbar now.
I think it was last week. It was a gold.
He's going to take his gold crowbar and tear down a wall. So we had the bit with the Harrises getting arrested. It's Sid versus... The one thing about the show that I will say is a positive, and something Nitro has been really, really bad at lately, to make it abundantly clear what the card is for the upcoming pay-per-view. They plugged like 6 matches for this show. It is Sid versus Jarrett for the title in the main event at Uncensored. Great. A match. We have a focus to build around. That's fantastic. David Flair versus The Wall. The Wall stacks up 2 tables. David briefly fights him off, then David, like a moron, is celebrating on the ropes above the tables. And The Wall grabs him and throws them through, and David...
He's 21, Vinny. He's young.
And apparently,
He'll smarten up.
like Crowbar, he's passed on. Because
dead.
this was treated like the end of the world.
Yeah.
The match just stops. He's stretchered out.
Daphne was crying/screaming.
She's crying, screaming. Kurt Hennig and Terry Funk and Arn Anderson all run down. And Kurt turns to Arn and says, "The old man should have been out here."
Oh,
Asshole Ric Flair not caring about David.
He's got package business to do.
What now?
Yeah, you heard me.
Backstage, Bam Bam Bigelow scolds The Wall for being such an asshole.
they're in a stairwell, okay? So they're in a stairwell, and Bigelow is below Wall on the stairwell. Wall's he's standing there.
Yep.
Bigelow goes, "You asshole." He didn't say that, but he's basically
Well,
calling him an asshole. He goes, "What did I teach you? He's just a young fella. It's his birthday. He's just trying to make a living."
He's got bills to pay, he said.
I'm like, this is Bam Bam Bigelow with this speech. He got old, dude. So the Wall responds by punching him on the stairwell, and fucking Bigelow leaps backwards through a table. I laughed so hard. Like, that's a hell of a punch. That's a 400-pound fucking man that you knocked off of his feet, sent him through a table.
It was wacky.
So apparently Bigelow trained The Wall.
That's the story here. He asked, "Did I teach you this?"
Oh, wow.
And the announcers were very surprised when Bam Bam trained The Wall.
God damn, it's like Star Wars. What a revelation. The Wall trained Bam Bam Bigelow.
No, backwards. Bam Bam trained The Wall.
Yeah, whatever.
So Bam Bam is Obi-Wan and The Wall is Anakin.
Something like that, yeah.
Sure.
3 count versus The Dog.
Gotta find out who the Wall's father is. It's gotta be next.
Guessing the foundation.
It was Bill Ding, the evil
I was
architect.
gonna say, building. There you go.
So The Dog sucks. They bring the dog out.
Fucking A.
This guy's Kevin Nash, a tag team partner from 10 years ago. There's a reason he's pretty much disappeared for the next 10 years.
Who is this guy?
It's Al Green.
Al Green,
The
dude.
other Master Blaster.
Al Green.
Right. Thank you.
So it's Finley and Knobs. They got him on a chain, and he's barking and spitting. They take him down to ringside. They put a hood on him to calm him down so they take the chain off. Then take the hood off, and he's a rabid dog. He's running around doing wrestling moves. Not very well.
Oh.
So first it's the dog versus 3 dudes. Then it's the dog versus 1 dude. Then it's 3 dudes versus 3 dudes. I have no idea what this match actually was.
He's Takashi Iizuka is what he is. He just didn't have the iron fingers. But he won, and then he tried to eat Evan Courageous.
He pinned him with the Avalanche Power Slam.
At one point, he was chewing on the rope, and the camera zoomed in on him. They put red contacts in this guy's eyes.
Yeah.
He's rabid.
It's ridiculous.
I guess that makes your eyes turn red.
Like all dogs, you see. Team package promo. Again, they make it very clear it's Lex versus Sting at Uncensored. And later they would add the stipulation it's a a lumberjack match, where all the lumberjacks are the dudes with cats with broken arms, courtesy of Lex Luger. Seems like biased lumberjacks, but all right. So Lex says Sting is a coward. He is hiding from me. Sting never showed up, so I guess he was right. Gene asked Flair, "How can you be here, given what happened to your son earlier?" Flair says, "Hey, he's 21. He can take care of himself. Look at me. I'm the picture of health." And he moves on. Says, "Hulk Hogan, you better not mess around with a nature boy in Chapel Hill." Jarrett tells his women to prepare for a promo. He's walking around now with Tylene, Buck, and Medeja, and another one just named Kim. Don't know whatever happened to her. The Nitro Girls are back dancing. Sid, backstage, has to talk Vampiro into coming back for the match. Vampiro says okay, and Sid's all happy, and as they're walking back, Vamp just says, "Jesus." That is what he said. Jarrett does a promo. So his gimmick here, which I guess he does multiple times a show, he comes out with 3 hot women and then immediately sends them to the back.
It's to get heat.
It is to, thanks you, Craig. I didn't understand it. Now it's also clear.
I know.
I do think it's funny. These women got paid the same.
Of course they did.
Fly out.
Yeah.
Which is the hard part.
They're trying so hard to get Jarrett over as a heel.
Yeah.
That this is what they came up with. He's got hot women people want to see. He gets rid of them.
Yeah. So Jarrett vows to win the title at Uncensored, and he announces the Wall will be his tag team partner tonight.
Oh, I cannot wait. The stroke in the wall. Wall stroke. If this were WWE, that's what their team would be called. Wall stroke.
That is better than Boston Hug Connection.
Yeah.
Thank God he wasn't named the Shower. Shower stroke. Anyway.
Yeah, we understand, Craig.
Between you.
What?
Lenny and Idol are playing in the Demon's casket or something.
That's what happened.
They were trying to weld it shut.
Later we found out they're playing. They're talking about Rizats here backstage. This is their whole gimmick.
They were trying to weld his casket shut.
Later.
They should have just left it because it got stuck a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
No welding required.
So Lane and Idol's whole gimmick is they bought the F4W Insider Terms booklet. Using these terms on TV. We're chasing rats or Rizats and getting over. And they find the Demon's casket and they get an idea.
Do you have one of those books around here anymore?
I doubt it.
Kurt Hennig walks. Ric Flair walks. Then we get Kurt Hennig versus Ric Flair.
Okay, this is why I'm going to miss this show. I love this match.
It was good.
It's not like a great match or anything like that, but Flair comes out. He's like 50. No one's going to boo this fucking guy.
They're in North Carolina.
He's in Chapel Hill.
He tries to bury this Carolina team and put over the rival Carolina team.
Yep, everybody cheers him.
Yeah.
So they do this match, and I could watch these guys wrestle every day forever. I just loved it. Just a basic, great professional wrestling match. Luger interferes right for the ref, not a DQ. And then Hennig just grabs Flair, Hennig Plex, pins him. Right in the middle. All right, who gives a shit? I don't even care.
Now,
I liked it.
Do they both have to walk naked through Minnesota now?
Maybe this win negates Kurt's loss.
I presume this was negating it, yes.
Yeah.
They double on him with the belt, and Luger whacks him with a baseball bat, and literally, Arn Anderson runs down to the ring. Was I the only one whose first thought was, wasn't he fired?
In WWE.
I got very confused.
Oh, like, well,
Yeah. I just remember I was just talking about Arn being fired, and there he was.
He got fired in storyline in like 1999 too.
Yes.
But he was brought back somehow a month ago. I forget exactly how. But
So Luger's gonna whack Arn in the back with the bat, but Flair, no. He saves Arn.
Flair calls off the I was gonna say the dog. He was earlier in the show.
And Mark Madden alerts us. Arn had neck surgery. He's got a bad neck. And if he would have been hit in the back of the head with that bat, it would have been fatal. Fatal. He would have died here tonight.
Just like Crowbar died on Thunder.
Yep. It's very serious business, Vinny.
I guess so. So, I love matches where veterans are in there, and there's, it's not like a pay-per-view match. It's a random throwaway Nitro match, and they don't want to do anything, so they say, let's just chop the fuck out of each other. They say, all right. And that's what they do. Cool.
Vinny, that's a very, very complex technique. Let's just beat each other up. It's the way it should be done. Fuck these spots.
There were no spots in this match.
Nah, this is a fight. These are two tough guys fighting. I don't want to see any flips. I want to see them chop the
They did not
shit
do
out of
flips.
each other.
It is some flops, but no flips. So yes, as promised, Lane and Idol have found welding gear. I guess these guys are metal workers in their spare time.
17 torches.
They know how these torches work. Yeah. They're welding the demon's casket shut until he walks up and taps him on the shoulder. This leads to Scooby-Doo level comedy where they don't know who's tapping them, and then the demon beats them up. I guess they beat him up by the end.
Why were they going to weld the casket shut? He wasn't in there.
Why do Lane and Idol do anything?
To get over.
With the Rizettes.
Yeah. You asked. You knew the answer.
I did.
Why did you even ask?
I don't know.
We have more from Club Shakers. So the loading...
Sounds like a fun place.
I'll
Not as fun as I thought.
The best moment on Nitro. They're loading Kurt Hennig into an ambulance. They have the air cast on his arm. They're tending to him. They're checking, his vitals and stuff. And the guy examining looks down and says, I think you might have broken your wrist. And Kurt looks at him with fire in his eyes and says, no, yeah. That was awesome. Lex and Flair celebrate their win. Their breaking of Kurt Hennig's arm. Norman Smiley versus Lane. With Idol on commentary.
So Lenny tries his moonsault, and Norman moved like an hour earlier. So he just literally moonsaults right onto his face.
Yes. This is about a minute after he tried a tope con hilo on his head.
Yeah,
Lane was no good in a scary way.
You know, he should have just chopped.
He should have just chopped.
That would have made things a lot easier.
No, yes, I would have gasped with fear multiple times during every Lane match.
So fucking Miss Hancock comes out. She gets on the table. She turns and faces the crowd. Nothing happens.
That wasn't her cue.
She stands there for a while. Then she just starts gyrating a little bit.
Poses.
Man says she appears to be gyrating, but no music. And I'm like, no shit, there's no music. Apparently someone forgot to play her goddamn music.
I see.
So she just stood there forever. And then Norman won with a choke. And some shit happened, and that was that.
They didn't know how to go bonk. And yes, Norman, it was a crossface chicken wing. Regardless, he won. And then the demon attacked, and they tried some four-way spots, but Lane and Idol were involved, so they get fucked up. Lane and Idol may be worse than the Headbangers. In fact, I'm pretty sure they are.
I don't know, Vinny. I'll remember you said that the next time we see them headbang.
I'm sure they're coming back at some point.
You just saw one of them on NWA.
That thought just crossed my mind. I'm not thinking over this now. It's a bad thought. Either way.
Sid promo.
Sid
He
got-
whispered too much.
He yells and he whispers. He promises final judgment day for you, Jeff Jarrett, and we'll see if you measure up to the master.
This loser Tank Abbott arrives.
Hank Abbott storms in the building. Hey, dumbass, where's the locker room?
Yeah, he's mad. I would be too.
So Tank gets in the ring, and I love Tank Abbott.
Dude, Vinny, you got this weird infatuation with Tank, but fuck, this was horrible.
But it was different.
It was different. I'll give you that.
Sure. This was not a cookie cutter's pre-written promo.
He gets in the ring, and you can always tell he's nervous because he paces around, and he cannot give any moments of silence.
No.
He must be speaking at every possible fucking second. If he pauses for an instant, it's too long for him.
Yes.
But he's got to babble something out. So he's mad. He says Sid is the luckiest guy alive. He couldn't hold a candle to my jockstrap.
That's what he said.
I was like, do you want him to hold a candle to your jockstrap? Because I don't want a candle anywhere near my fucking
Pretty sure
jockstrap.
those are flammable.
So he explains, everyone. So for those of you that forget, it was Sid versus Tank Abbott last week.
Oh, and boy, was it ever.
And Tank Abbott beat the hell out of Sid. And then Sid just put him in his hold incorrectly.
Yes.
And then Tank Abbott submitted. Was defeated. Tank comes out here and he says, the only reason I tapped last week is because they off TV. What? Okay. Real or fake? What the fuck are you talking about?
I assume he was worried that if he beat Sid and won the world title,
They were going to take him off TV.
he would never get any more airtime.
So if this is real, okay, if this was real, he's worried they're going to take him off TV, so he gave up in a world title match?
Yeah.
And if this is fake,
I guess he was
He
saying
thinks they're going to take him off TV, and so he willingly just gave up in the middle of the ring.
if he didn't do the job.
He's clearly a shooter. So then he says, nobody can touch me. I'm not leaving the ring. No way, no how. I'm not leaving this ring. You can bring out the matches. You can bring out whoever you want. I am not leaving this ring. Are we clear?
I heard you.
Okay. First man that comes out is Labarca. Because I guess he's going to wrestle in the next match.
Sure.
Okay. Labarca comes out with a chair. Tank shoves the chair into his face. He punches him. Labarca is dead. Okay? Tank says, I will not leave this ring. So then, Meng's music hits. Now, few things. First off, I'm so fucking mad we didn't get Meng versus Laparca. They better give me that goddamn match next week. That's the match I want to see. Second, when Tank came out and said, I will not leave this ring, Doug Dillinger and security are out there trying to get him to leave the ring. He says, I will not leave the ring. So Meng pushed his the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Meng comes out and J.J. Dillon says, no, Meng, you may not get in the ring. It will be a 60-day suspension without pay if you get in that ring. So what happens? Meng says, oh, fuck it. I don't want to go 60 days without pay. He leaves, and then Tank Abbott calmly gets out of the ring, and he leaves.
He changed his mind.
Are you absolutely fucking kidding me?
That's what happened.
Name one thing you liked about this, Vinny.
You can't hold a candle to my jockstrap. You didn't laugh when he said that.
That is the depths that we have sunk to here.
How about when he called Sid a big white-headed oaf?
No! That was not enough to save the shit segment.
How about when he said, when I'm in shape, I'm the baddest man on the planet?
Well, that's just facts. Okay, otherwise, by the way, didn't Tank beat Ming? I could have sworn we saw that match a few weeks ago.
Did he take a Ming?
I could have sworn they did
I
Tank
don't
and
remember
Ming.
It
Vinny
sounds
being
awesome.
giddy.
Yeah,
I do think maybe we would remember it more.
Now, was Tank trying to say that he could have beaten Sid if it were real, but because
Who the hell knows?
I've been trying to figure this out for like days because I watched it days.
I'm not going to tell you this segment was good.
Thank you.
I'm going to tell you it was fun.
Kind of.
Okay.
I had fun. This was not a bad actor reciting pre-written bad dialogue.
What the fuck are you talking about? A horrible actor
Well,
reciting horrible dialogue.
But
Are you kidding
But
me?
it was not pre-written. I believe
That's
Tank
true.
meant every word he said.
I believe you're out of your mind.
That's possible too. The Magic Girls dance again, and it's not dance music, it's like hard rock.
Yes.
It's like Slipknot is playing.
Really? Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Craig, you're more of a music man than I am. Who does it sound like?
It was.
Godsmack?
Yep. Okay, I was gonna say Disturbed or something.
Okay, there we go. Not dance music. This Hogan promo.
Oh my god. And last week we recapped the Yappa Pie Indian strap match promo.
Yes, we did.
And everybody who doesn't watch these shows with us talked about how, oh my god, I unironically love that. It's my favorite moment in wrestling. They are incorrect. This is the one they're thinking of. This was absolutely incredible. Hulk Hogan it's like a green screen promo from the mid-'80s.
Thank you.
Yep.
He's got two straps. If I would have had time, sadly I did not have time, I would have gone back and written down every single word that he said, which would have taken forever because unlike some promos, he talked so fast, it's just impossible to recap. I did write down one line, which I think encapsulates everything they need to know about this promo, okay? He said, in the Yappa Pie Indian strap match, when you're in the four corners of the battle zone, the main priority is to get the body in the proper position for the strapation, dudes. And he went on from there. He went on from there. He vowed to double strap him with both fists.
Yeah.
Flair will scream to high heaven, please, Hollywood, don't hurt me anymore. And I will never stop. That's how it ended.
So, yeah, I didn't write down every word, but he had some lines here. He released the doctors. He'd signed the paperwork to release the doctors from their responsibility.
Wrist flexibility is very important in this strap match. He says,
That's what he said.
because again, it's important to get the body in proper position for the strapation dude.
He literally said, it doesn't matter if my fucking arm is broken. As long as I have wrist flexibility,
Well, I'm very flexible with a
I
broken
can
arm.
win in a Yapapai Indian strap match.
So he explains he's going to beat up Flair, then call for the strap master, Jimmy Hart.
Strap master.
So Hogan's standing there. He's got two Hulkamania weight belts. One is yellow letters on red leather, and the other is red letters on yellow leather.
God, you could put them together.
I guess so.
They'd be all red or yellow.
I guess so. He says Jimmy will pass him the Yavapai strap of punishment number 1. There are 2. And he whips Flair, or whips the ground with it, makes a loud noise. So I'm going to whip you with this, your Skinner bubble, and then I'll call the strap master for Yavapai strap of punishment number 2. And he will double strap you with both fists. It was a line that he said and he used.
Sounds lewd.
You will beg for mercy, and I will never stop.
In the Yapapai Indian strap match, when you're in the 4 corners of the battle zone, the main priority is, he said that twice by the way, to get your body in the proper position for the strapation, dudes. And he said this with all seriousness.
Oh, yes.
This was not a comedy promo.
No.
This was not even one of those Flair promos that's supposed to be serious, but he doesn't give a fuck. So it's comedy the way he says it. Hogan was being real, brother.
This was a 1980s promo in 2000, complete with a teal and purple background.
It was. Yeah. This was an anachronism.
I did love this with all my heart. This Vinny is what I will miss.
Fair enough.
This show is gone.
Fair enough.
He never does this shit again.
I don't know where you will find promos about strapation.
You'll never find something like this. They don't teach this at the Performance Center.
No. I'm sure they don't. Kidman versus Stevie Ray. Out comes Big T and that other guy, Cash. There's no Cash this week.
Yeah.
There's Cashes before. So he's about to Kidman is about to introduce a tag team partner, but then they cut him off, and then Booker comes out. I guess it's a tag match out all along. Booker and Kidman
feuding last week.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
So Booker hits the bookend, and Kidman hits the top rope elbow, but Cash pulls the referee outside. A second referee runs out, and as I wrote here, Kidman gets pinned somehow.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Cool.
He got hit with the slapjack.
I'm glad one of us was able to discern that.
Yeah, Tony said something else, like, he got paintbrush, is what he said. Like, no, he got hit with a slapjack.
Well, paintbrush with a slapjack.
Jarrett gives the wall a pep talk. Dustin Rhodes walks.
So, Dustin comes out with barbed wire. I gotta read some of these lines as well. This is what I will miss about this show, Vinny. Dustin Rhodes says, I knocked out Funk a few weeks ago. Last week I damn near broke his back. Both times he kept coming back. Why? For you people. I don't care what you idiots think. You're marks, internet freaks, and smart cheat sheet writing. Not writers. Writing.
And not dirt sheet.
No, cheat sheet. Smart cheat sheet writing. And you make me sick. Terry Funk comes out. Remember that promo that Funk cut on Ric Flair? If only Ric Flair were here to respond to this. He calls Dustin a chicken. A quote, chicken choking peckerhead.
That's what he called it.
Does a foghorn leghorn impersonation in the year 2000. Only he could pull this off. Says Dustin is just like his overbearing, fat, obnoxious, egg-sucking dog of an old man. He says, I have something for you in my sack.
He says, I have your baby brother
Yeah.
in his bag.
I thought, Cody?
Cody?
I thought we were going to see Cody's debut. Instead, he says, your daddy's a little bastard child. I'm going to show it to you right now. It's a fucking chicken in diapers.
He has a raw chicken, a whole raw chicken in diapers, which
You won't see this on Raw.
No,
Ever.
he throws the raw chicken in Dustin's face.
You can't even
It bounces off the mat. Ew! Salmonella everywhere.
Yes.
So, he licked the raw chicken, then threw it in Dustin's face.
He's hardcore, baby.
Then it lands on the mat. That was so gross.
It's just a chicken.
It's raw chicken, dude.
Well, you know.
Don't lick a raw chicken, everyone. And don't throw it in your friend's face. Or your enemy's face,
Actually, don't lick a live chicken either.
Fair.
Yeah.
So,
Don't be a chicken choking peckerhead.
That's advice we could all use.
so Funk challenges Rhodes to a barbed wire match, but Dustin throws powder in his eyes, and Funk comes back and slams him on the barbed wire, and Dustin runs away.
Weird.
It was weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
It was totally
That's what I
weird.
wrote right here. Weird.
I will agree that it was weird.
I will make it unanimous. This segment was weird. Now, before that, Brian, you skipped over Ricky Rackman
Yes, I did.
interviewing 3 Count.
Because he fast forward through it.
Now, again, on Nitro, they're goofs, they're geeks, they think they're cool, but they're not cool.
Right.
But they go to these Nitro parties, and allegedly now, they bring in the women. And all the women think they're hot and awesome. So like, did he go to them specifically about what their gimmick was, and they explained it that way to him, so he could put them over? Does he not watch Nitro at all?
I doubt it.
Jeff Jarrett's walking with his women. The Wall is walking with no women.
Yeah.
Sid and Vampiro walking, and Sid's just screaming. Jeff Jarrett and The Wall versus Sid Vicious and Vampiro. Now, I will say this, Ryan, for Nitro, they tried something new. The Wall and Vampiro are in this main event.
You know what that is, Vinny? That is something new.
That is new. And in the end, neither guy did the job.
No.
Neither guy was there to get buried. So, Sid hits a chokeslam, The Wall breaks up the pin. Vampiro gets thrown to the guardrail. We get the exact same tease of a double chokeslam spot that Kane and the Big Show did on
We
the
did. It
show.
was on both shows.
And all 4 guys were cowards that wouldn't do the spot. We get a rough bump, a guitar shot for Sid. The Wall chokeslam Sid right into his head. And Jarrett pins The Wall. So there you go. That sets up Jarrett versus,
Yeah, shouldn't there be an instant replay as set via precedent earlier in this very show?
Well, if it was a good TV show, Brian,
I see,
yes.
okay,
But it's a
yeah.
bad show.
Not awful, I wrote, but not great.
Correct.
That's fair.
I don't ever need to see this tag match again.
I'll talk about the whole show.
I'll agree. I don't need to see this.
But I would
match
agree
again.
that this match was not awful, and also not great.
Yes.
I do know you want to see a double chokeslam, Vinny, but that's ridiculous.
It is. That's why I want to see it.
How could you even work it?
It defies total
Like you
phys-
both leap in the air and
Yes.
somehow go backwards while holding each other's neck?
Yes. It would be completely preposterous. It would be straight out of a cartoon.
I need you to go to Buddy's Ring and try this with somebody.
I might.
Okay.
See how it goes.
Let's do your song.
All right. God, I wrote a lot about these finishes. I hope it's a long song.
I can loop it.
The finishes on this show were pinfall after 2 guys brawled into the ring and a woman and a manager argued at ringside, and there was also interference with a belt shot. Pinned by a guy who was not in the match with a weapon shot, which was then switched to a DQ. No finish when a guy gets put through tables. Pinfall after interference by 4 men. Pin despite interference. Submission despite interference. Pin after 1 ref is pulled out of the ring and another ref runs down, and I have no idea what happened in between. And pin after guitar shot.
Ah, you almost got it done in one loop.
I guess there have been worse.
Well, there you go, everybody. Another night in the books. Another week. History. 1 week closer to the end. WCW Monday Nitro. We should do a countdown. Because
That's
literally,
not a bad idea.
it's the end of March. We're just over a year away.
Christmas time. That would be too late, but I was thinking we should buy an advent calendar. And with 24 weeks to go, we start going through it.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find one. I'm sure you can find an advent calendar on Amazon.
You probably can.
Regardless of when you try to purchase it. All right, well, we're out of here, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with more, as we always are. Filthy Tom. Got a special surprise on the Filthy Tom show, so check it out. Check out this show at video.f4wonline.com if you want to see the video version. And that is it, everybody. We'll talk to you again after a while.
Good night.
Adios.